Alright, Gatekeeper here on this lovely morning at 3 o'clock. Just got done with a little repair here for Mr. Ron. Mr. Ron out there on the west side, out there in California. Out there in Cali. Little Silver Eagle 350, very beautiful amp, 4x455s. Very beautiful amp. Got her cleaned up for you too, Ron. Got all that flux out of there for you. I kind of actually enjoy doing that. It's one of my little things I like to do. I like to dig all that flux out. But all right, here's the issue. Issues that you had stated in your email that there was some fuzziness on the transmit, some real issues when you turn the preamp on there, and some high SWR and such things like that. And also I figured out your actual transmit LED was out as well. You didn't state that on the list, but I went ahead and fixed that for you. Let's start off with that. The reason the transmit LED was not working is because the LED was actually blown. And the reason why, using my little transmit LED tester, or shall I say my RF tracer, and I put together right there. That's what I use to actually trace down RF through a circuit. I figured out that that everything was working properly. The LED was just blown, and I tested everything out, and the problem was it was giving out about 6.3 volts, which finally blew that LED. I don't know why they didn't put any type of current limiting protection on there, so we went ahead and put you a 330 ohm resistor on there and replaced the LED for you. As you see, working right there. And here's the voltage right here that's going to the LED. 1.3 volts. Just perfect voltage, enough to get it to light up good, and you ain't got to worry about that LED blowing again. So let's unhook those leads and go on to the next. Alright, next thing I noticed when I had this hooked up the first time was, wow, man, there was a lot of white noise. And for a second I thought maybe it was just something interfering around here, because usually I don't have that issue on my dummy load, because I'm attached to my dummy load right now. And started looking around and everything, and the second that I would touch the SO239 connectors, it would quit. So, you know, that was an indication there was a ground issue. So I started looking around, and if you notice, Ron, on the back of this box here, it's kind of like a coating around the metal here. It's like a sticker, kind of like a coating on there. And the type of screws they had in there, some coarse threaded all-purpose screws, were just driven through there. Kind of just driven. I didn't really like the way it was done, but it was just driven through there, and just wasn't, you know, basically, you know, you got some paint on this side as well, so it just wasn't giving a good ground to those SO239 connectors. You got the paint on this side, and you got that on that side, and yeah, you know, it just wasn't giving what it needed. So we went ahead and took all them out and put some stainless steel hardware in there for you, and grounded both of them, as you can see. And as you can hear now, it's quiet as all get out, my friend. Quiet as all get out. And I will show you what it sounded like. It sounded just like this right here. That's what it was sounding like. And as saying that, we can move on to the next, your preamp. That's how I can tell a preamp is working on my dummy load. Is whenever I turn a preamp on, When I hear a static noise like that, that's letting me know that a preamp 9 times out of 10 is working. We've already checked it out on the antenna earlier when we got a couple of radio checks. It's working beautifully. And your transmit LED had went out. Excuse me, transmit LED. I'm still stuck on the first. Your 3906 transistor had went out, and we replaced it with a 2907, and brought the preamp back up working properly. And to be honest with you, Ron, after I done those things right there, I went to check out the SWR issues, and I'm not seeing any problem on this end at all. The reflect looks wonderful. And my guess is that was from the grounding issue, man. That is my guess, because I mean, it makes total sense, and not having a good ground is going to cause some reflect issues, no doubt about that. But it looks well on this end, man. We just about like any other box is doing good. We're getting like 100 milliwatts of reflect. That's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Normally, if I can get that bird meter right here to show anywhere from 200 milliwatts down to nothing, I call that a perfect tune, my friend. I call that a perfect tune. So the reflect looks wonderful. The watts seem to be doing exactly what it's supposed to. We're getting about right there at 350 to 400 out of her. So let's go ahead and show that now. And like I said, I did clean her up for you. Got all the flux out there for you, man. And let's go ahead and show you what she's doing on 13.8 volts, 13.9 volts there. Let's go ahead and move this right here. Show you what we're going to be putting in her like usual, about 18 watts to 20. Alrighty, about 1820. Let's kick her on. We'll put her on low first. Alright, about 280 watts. I'll show you the reflect. Alright, real quick, just in case you don't already know, we got a 10 watt slug in. The 100 all the way to the right is 10 watts. The 40 is 4 watts. 20 is 2 watts. In between the 20 and the 0 is 1 watt. So anything up under that half notch, you're into the milliwatts then. And as you can see, you are right there about 100 milliwatts. Right there about 100, in between 100, 150 milliwatts, man. That's 150 milliwatts. 150 milliwatts at 280 watts, that equals a 1-to-1, my friend. If you want to do the ratio. Now let's kick her on high. Alrighty, there's your 340, 350 watts. Alrighty, let's go ahead and pump her up to about 15.2 volts. I like to say too, this is kind of adequate to kind of hitting the amp with a hot radio as well. Hitting it with an export radio or something like that. You can tend to see, let's say if you pumped it up to about 30 watts, out of a radio or something a little bit more than that, you'll probably see somewhere around this. And I think it's hitting close to 400. We're on high. Well, there you go, my friend. And like I tell everybody, we don't really follow the number, the SWR number on here. That is more or less letting me know how good of a connection I actually have to my, that's letting me know my SWR to my actual dummy load. We're wanting to look at the reflect. We're wanting to look at what is not making it outside the box. Whatever is not making it outside the box is due to a mismatch of the amp itself. And as for a dummy load or an antenna, what isn't making it out of the antenna is due to a mismatch of the antenna itself. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're wanting to look at, is this right here. And it, they do seem to play hand in hand most of the time. That the lower this is, the lower that's going to be. But whenever we're looking at this, we're not even paying attention to that right there. We're paying attention to this. This right here is what tells the truth. That right there is what lets you know, man, what's really going on. Alright, Ron. Well, there you go. We're going to pop the top on this, man. Not pop the top, put the top back on it. And get it shipped back to you there. I did notice these SO239s, the center conductors are a little loose. I think we're going to put a little bit of epoxy right there on the actual insulator, just to keep it from not, not moving. Like to try to, dot all my I's and cross all my T's there. I like to do that on boxes sometimes. People heat them up sometimes from the factory. They'll heat them up a little bit too much, get them a little loose. And over time, they can jiggle loose, and you'll have to put you a new one on there. But just having a little bit of epoxy on the center conductor there to the outside, man, will just keep that thing stable, keep it from not moving. Well, there you go, man. I hope it gives you many more years of good usage, man. Hey, man, if you ever want to get rid of it, hey, let me know. It's a good amp, man. Really like it. Really good amp, man. Trying to get me one myself right now. I'm talking to a fellow about. So hope you enjoy, Ron, Mr. Gatekeeper on this end. And to all you people saying I need to organize this place and get it cleaned up, this is a little temporary place around here, man. There's a couple of little Debbie benches over here and some tables, man. This ain't my permanent bench here, man. I kind of got everything crammed all into one. We moved in here not too long ago, so we working on the more permanent, or the permanent setup. And after I get that done, then you can do some judging then. And we just kind of doing what we can to make it through day to day right now. I ain't barely got no room to put anything, so I'm doing my best. But hey, we'll try to get things cleaned up still a little bit on here. I apologize for that. But y'all have a good one. God bless. Another repair to keep this thing rolling, to keep the hobby a flowing. Mr. Gatekeeper out here in Northeast Georgia. We got down and we good and we gone.